This is Green Park in 1860. This artwork was done from the opposite side of the river, from the park. As I said, in 1860. You're going to see me start the footage as I'm walking just along here, just off the artwork here. Along the side of the river, there's a wall here. I stick my camera head over the wall. We film this building, I mentioned this building. We come along, and we encounter this massive mound, which is in this park. I want you to take note, I point these things out here. Actually point the wrong thing out, but these things feature. I want you to take note of the height of the ground in modern day of the footage I was showing you as I walk along the path that's here, highlighting this massive mound here in the middle. Obviously in 1860 this ground is as flat as a pancake. It's flat all the way. I will also point out there's no windows and doors here, okay? In the modern footage there is. So at some point there's been a change. And also I will point out the ground level, in my opinion, based on the height here, and using the height from here to the tops of the windows and the doors on the buildings that are still here, gives me a good gauge to see that the height has changed. We're going to have a look at the footage now, and then we're going to come back and look at this picture again, or this bit of artwork I should say, and a picture as well. And then I'm going to give you my theory on what's happened here. Let's have a look at the footage anyway. I mentioned the river. The bit of artwork was done from across the river over here, facing this way. This is the wall. This is the house I mentioned. And we're going to see this big mound of earth that wasn't here in 1860. Okay? Let the footage play. Flood evidence. We're in Bath, Green Park. I want you to take note of the river and this building. Okay? This, just down here, is what we're going to look at today. That building will feature. And we're going to compare some old artwork which is painted from across the river to what we're seeing here today. This is what I'm interested in, this mound. In the old artwork from across the river, this area here is as flat as a pancake. It shows these walls going around, all the way around. It also shows them a lot higher. And of course, we're going to get the usual windows in the ground. Also take note of these things. We see these. Now, I said that, but actually I meant these things, okay, in regards to the original bit of artwork. I'm guessing this maybe has been altered when in the artwork, they made the alteration when they actually put the windows in. Height in relation to the ground. Because things have changed. In the original artwork there was no windows and doors. But here we've got some windows and doors, some blocked up, some still left, as you'll see. I'd say this mud mound is probably... Now, at its highest point, I think the mud mound's probably about 8 to 10 feet, and then it sort of phases down, it gets lower and lower as you get to the end of the park, because the flat ground level has been raised anyway, and it reflects in the walls with the windows and the doors. You'll see the ground level slowly comes up as well. So I should just make that point. 10 to 12 feet high? I said 10 to 12, but I had a proper look. I think I was slightly out, which is why I've corrected myself. Looks like it's been carved out the path here and along the river. This is what we're looking at here. These weird windows and doors. It just seem to go into the ground. Makes no sense whatsoever. Of course, this mound is still here. Notice, let's get some idea of height for this. I'm a short ass, I'm only 5'9", 5'10". So I come up to here, okay? So that little coping edging stone there, just shy of the top, is about 5'10", okay? Just for some point of reference. Oh, can't see, can we? No. Concrete, modern, in relation to this. So this has been put in since. Yeah, and you've got a door, which obviously the bottom of it is further down. So blatantly here, the ground level has changed, because you wouldn't have a door with the bottom below ground level. This concrete is obviously more modern in relation to the brickwork that surrounds it. So there's definitely, just based on this door, been a change in ground level in this park. Obviously the door drops below that anyway. You just wouldn't have a door like that, would you? It would seem very much so that what we're looking at here is the result of a mud flood, or certainly remnants of it. You'll get it when we compare the old school artwork that was painted from across the river. Shows these buildings, these walls, this park, a few cattle, and no mound in the middle. Let's head out. Hang on a minute. I've got a torch. Damn, there's like little archways. That's definitely, you can see the little archway in there. See it? Cove. It probably drops down, guesstimate, I'd say 10 feet from this window ledge. I came back with a torch and I'd say it was more like 4 to 6 feet. I was able to see clearer. I just want to add that. Below, that was very handy, that window. I think you can, this is the way I was able to see it a bit clearer with the torch, to be honest. Interesting. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And just notice, let me just come out slightly, how this ground level has changed. Anyway, the height of this in relation to the ground level, so it's sloped up. Right at the bottom, the ground level was higher. We're going to have a look anyway in a minute. This mound features in it all the way. It ramps up. I get, you know, you can have a part, you can have the ramped entrance in here. But the whole ground level's changed in the park, and of course you've got this massive mound in the middle. Okay, let's just go back to the original artwork now from across the river. Of course, I came along here, didn't I, on my walk. I turned, this is where the big mound was, right in the middle here. And I walked all the way up here. I stopped here. And of course, you have windows and doors which don't feature here in 1860. Of course, there wasn't trees there either, so the windows and doors, I think, are an added feature. I think they came at a later date when this trade changed from a meadow into a park. I think the residents of these houses wanted access, direct access to the park. So I think they had these windows and doors added that were at this level, that was flat. This is what I think. And I think the windows and doors were added so these people could access the new park, which had changed from a meadow to a park. And I think this event, this mud flood, had come, flooded all this park. I think they cleared the paths away and put all this crap in the middle of the mud, because they've cleared it away this side, and obviously you've got the ramp into the park. I think that's what this mound is. And I think, of course, the ground levels are raised level now anyway. That's why we see the windows and doors halfway under the ground. Okay. As far as a time scale, it's obviously happened between 1860, and I want to show you an image from 1949. RAF photograph, aerial photograph from 1949. Obviously they're surveying war damage. I should add, this park did take 2 hits apparently of bombs, but of course that would have caused craters, and you certainly wouldn't have had massive amount of more land, okay? But apparently the park did get hit twice. And you can see that this row of buildings here obviously got mullered as well, okay? So there is a case that maybe this mound could be rubble from the Second World War, okay? It could just be that, okay? Or it could be, it is remnants of a mud flood, because here in 1949 it's clear the mound is here. Here's the path, here's the wall, this is now a car park, there's the house. Come along, turn the corner. The trees are here now, and so is the mound. You can quite clearly see the mound is here. So, is the mound a result of a mud flood that happened between 1860 and 1949? I'd say it happened before the war. Or is the mound a result of rubble and Second World War damage just being chucked in the park and turfed over? I think it's probably down to being a mud flood based on the fact the ground levels have changed. And if you were going to put in flood defence, it would be at the front here, as opposed to some ugly mound. Of course, the answer lies within a train journey. As the next time I go back, I'm going to jump on a train, go back to Bath. I'm going to dig a little soil sample to see if what we got here is just soil, i.e. mud, or is there some rubble under there? So, watch this space.